Things that people do as college freshmen: spend way too much money on food, get to class earlier than everyone else, wear their keys and ID on a university lanyard, cry because they miss home, complain about being broke, and get tattoos. Now that last one really stands out to me because I know so many people who have done this, but so often you hear,
"If I get tattoos, I will never get a job."
But if that's true, then why do so many freshmen in college get tattoos for the first time? Hi, I'm Haven Flores, and you're listening to Fresh Ink. I started getting tattoos at the age of 15. I had wanted one since I was 10, so hey, at least I waited 5 years. But needless to say, by the time I was starting my freshman year of college, I had already had 6 tattoos from 5 different tattoo artists, 3 different tattoo shops, and 2 different states. So getting another tattoo wasn't high on my priority list. But once I started going to classes and meeting new people, I noticed that everyone had started to get tattoos for the first time. For example, my friend Holly got her first tattoo back in December and now has a total of 3.
I have one on my shoulder, one on my hip, and then one on my ankle.
So I knew a lot of people were getting tattoos, but I couldn't help but wonder why. Why now? Why do it when some say you won't be able to get a job with it? I mean, that's what we're here for, right? To get an education so that we can get good jobs, to get a degree so that we can make more money in the end. But I mean, according to Kate Lineberry from the Smithsonian, tattoos date as far back as 2000 BC, when ancient Egyptians were getting tattoos that had very specific purposes. Women got dots across their stomachs while pregnant because it was thought that it would protect them during pregnancy and childbirth. But today, people get infinity symbols and cute flowers or some quote. So, what is the purpose of getting a tattoo?
I get tattoos as like a symbolic reminder for me.
I get tattoos to symbolize something important to me, or sort of to kind of as a memory, because like one thing I've always thought about is people say, well, what will you think like in however many years and you don't like your tattoo anymore? And it's like, to me, it's not like a work of art or like a piece of clothing that I just wear and put on to look good. It's a marker of like a point in my life or a memory I have. So I mean, it like always will be important to me.
I mean, yeah, I definitely agree with what Elle and Holly said about them being symbolic. The first tattoo I ever got was the purple butterfly I have on my left wrist. At first glance, all you would see is another girl with a cute little butterfly on her wrist. But the meaning goes way deeper. When I was young, my cousins and me and my sister would go to my grandma's on the weekends. I remember we would play with that elephant game that had the big trunk that would shoot out butterflies, and we'd race around the living room trying to catch them. And I remember there was a butterfly house down the street from where my grandma lived, and she would take us there, and my sister would always run out crying because she was terrified of the butterflies. And I remember my cousin taking one of those nets from that elephant game and running around outside trying to catch the butterflies, but he hit a bee's nest instead and got stung more than 15 times. Those were the only memories I have left of her after she died. So you can see where the butterfly means more to me than what it would to anyone else. But according to Nicholas Farrell, who did research for a Journal of Undergraduate Study at Minnesota State University, he says, most first-time tattooees choose to get tattoos in places that were not immediately visible, but could be uncovered in public if the individuals were wearing certain clothing. So if these freshmen are getting such meaningful tattoos, why are they trying to hide them? Well, it goes back to the old saying,
"If I get tattoos, I will never get a job."
But I know plenty of people who have tattoos and have gotten jobs. A lot of my professors have tattoos that are in plain sight. Even my uncle, who has Jesus taking a flaming shot on the back of his calf, has a job. So, should we really be worrying about if tattoos are going to affect our jobs?
I don't think employers should be worried about tattoos if like they can be easily covered up and if they're not like offensive at all in any way.
I don't think employers should make a decision about whether or not to hire someone based off of their tattoos, even if it's something as extreme as like knuckle tattoos or face tattoos or neck tattoos because people from like every class and every background today, at least in the United States, have tattoos, and yeah, a lot of them don't, but it like doesn't determine status. And I think employers often associate tattoos with the antiquated meanings of people who are criminals or who belong to gangs or who were male soldiers who came home from war and had like military tattoos. And they kind of have this stigma in their minds about it. And I think it's unfair, just as unfair as discriminating against a race or so-called race and gender when hiring to discriminate about tattoos.
So if the meaning behind tattoos has changed a lot, and if today we are getting them because they hold significant meaning to us and employers aren't looking so closely at tattoos anymore, then maybe college freshmen are part of a generation that looks at them as just another form of self-expression and nothing further. Thank you for listening to the first episode of Fresh Ink. A special thanks goes out to Jamendo, Freesound, Bensound, and Marissa for the music and sound effects. And another special thanks to Holly, Elliot, and Maya for the interviews.